This is before the court on suit for modification and motion to confirm arrears.
It's the state's understanding that the parents are in agreement for this to be a final order today. Parents are also in agreement that the children have health and dental coverage through the father. The disagreements in this case, Your Honor, go back to when the modification itself should start. As the court noted, parties were served in July of 2022. So beginning a new support amount August 1 of 2022 would put Ms. Jessup, formerly Roberts, behind as of this date. However, the case, again, was ripe for such a modification. The arrears as of the end of July 2022 were 0. And the testimony, I believe, to be that will be heard, excuse me, is that the mother has a VA disability award for her 20% rating, as well as current income from a job that began in December of 2023. And then the father's health and dental coverage for the children come out to cash medical support from the mother at $182.22 for medical, $10.11 for dental, which would make child support $610, taking into account the 2 other minor children for the mother outside this case.
All right, and we've been operating under a temporary order since November, so that temporary child support started the first day of December, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, anything else from the state as far as opening is concerned?
And Your Honor, based on the mother's disability, I believe the court would be waiving costs.
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you. Ms. Swartz, your opening, please.
Your Honor, I was appointed just for the narrow purpose. My understanding from the email from the court was that I was appointed as attorney ad litem for the mother for the limited purpose of helping her get her medical records into the case file so that the court could review them if that would be helpful. And since then, Ms. Jessup has decided she does not want those records entered.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't like doing those kind of things, but that's why I put a lawyer in this, just to make sure we don't run afoul of all those medical record acts out there. All right, good enough then. So since there's no medical record files at this time, I'll go ahead and swear the parties in, and I'll let let Ms. Swartz get Ms. Jessup on the record to make sure she and I know that that was what she decided to do.
The state calls Mr. Jason Roberts. Sir, what is your full name?
Jason Roberts.
And who is the child in this case?
Peyton Roberts.
How are you related to Peyton?
I'm her father.
And sir, were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes.
Was that your understanding of the remaining issues for this court to consider and make final?
Correct, yes.
Was there anything, sir, I stated that you disagreed with or needed to clarify?
No, I don't think so.
And so, sir, the amounts that I mentioned were part of Peyton's portion because you currently have a family plan for dental and medical.
Correct.
And how long has that coverage been in place for Peyton?
Providers through my employer have changed a little bit, but overall since 2018.
Okay. And how long has the current plan been in place?
The plans renew yearly, so this has been since January.
Okay. And as far as the support start date or for the modification, sir, were you wanting it to go back to August 1 since both of you were served in July of 2022?
That is my request, yes.
And then did you know anything different about Ms. Jessup's circumstances than I told the court earlier?
Recently, no. No.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, Ms. Swartz, do you have any questions of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bongak, call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Jessup. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Julissa Jessup.
And how are you related to Peyton Roberts?
I'm her mother.
Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your understanding of the issues we were going to be bringing to the court's attention for hopefully final orders today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it correct that you have 2 other minor children besides Peyton?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they older, younger, or one of each than Peyton?
One of each.
Okay. And as far as your income sources, was I accurate in letting the court know that you have one non-taxable and the other taxable?
Yes.
And did those figures sound correct to you as far as support for this one child and then reimbursement to Mr. Roberts for medical and dental?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have a specific request, ma'am, as to when this modification of support is begun?
Yes, I don't believe that it should go back. I don't recall being served in 2022. The only thing that I was served with was an arrearage for, it was almost $5,500, which I paid.
Ma'am, the state said you were served in, I thought you said you were served in, August of, last year, 2023. Did I misunderstand that, Ms. Mongat?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe parties were served in July of 2022, and the start date of a modification could be August 1st, but I'll double check.
Okay, all right, let me okay, because I'm not sure if I have that citation, so thank you. Oh, it's there, it's here. Yeah, okay, it does show service on, Ms. Roberts back on 7 July 2022. All right, thank you. You may proceed. I thought it was 2023. So I got some questions about why this took so long to get to the court, so we'll see. But go ahead and proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Aside from that request, ma'am, was there anything else you wanted the court to consider at this time?
Not at this time, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Jessup. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, Ms. Schwartz, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Jessup, you're not looking to enter any evidence for this hearing today?
The only thing that I would enter would be my release from the facility that I was at.
Okay, and do you have that available?
I don't have it available on me right now, no.
Okay. And was that anything that you sent to my office previously?
No.
Okay. And are there any medical records that you were interested in submitting?
No, ma'am. I don't believe my medical records play a part as to how I pay child support.
Okay. I'll pass that, Mr. Honor.
All right, then, Ms. Bongat, I'll ask the question. We're looking at service back in 2022. That's well after COVID. Is there, I don't have the entire file, so I can't see what dates this thing may have been set for previously to this. I'll ask the clerk to send me over the entire file if necessary. But the state aware why it took over 16 months to get before the court on this one? All right,
Your Honor, so it looks like, Your Honor, as far as the return of service, that was delayed or needed to be changed in some way. And my office was able to file it in April of 2023 after obtaining it from whichever authority we were able to get to do the service. But as to the delay between July and April, I can't say.
Okay. All right, then, so it wasn't filed until April of 2023.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Any other witnesses you wish to call at this time, Ms. Bongat?
No others, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses you wish to call at this time, Ms. Schwartz?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll listen to closing statements and closing arguments at this time, and I'll start. Well, here's what I'm looking at going, guys, and I'm writing it down specifically. Under the normal rules, Ms. Jessup, the court can start child support based on the date, the first of the month after date of service. Where do you live at this time, ma'am?
I live in Midland, Texas, Your Honor.
Okay. So, and I don't have a copy of the file, and the state's telling me that the service was done then, but it was not returned and filed until April of 2023. So the court, this doesn't happen too often, but it happens every now and then, but it's never, I don't remember the last time I've actually had to make a ruling on, based on the fact that the service came back so late and it took so long to get back before the court. So I've got to figure out what the court's discretion is on this. I'm writing this down right now on the docket sheet to get a copy of the, see if I can get the full copy of the court file. And I need to see what the court's discretion is one way or the other as far as making a ruling. Because I know back in the good old days, it was a shall circumstance, which means the court had to start the first day after service. But obviously that's not carved in stone, and the court's going to need a little bit more information to see whether or not the court actually has to do it on that date, or the court has some discretion to do it on the date it was actually filed, or even after that date. So again, the whole thing is to make sure that you don't suffer because of some clerical problems with the court file based on the date of service and based on the time it was actually filed, and based on the fact that it was actually brought before the court. And again, dad has rights also. So I'm looking at all those going forward, and I will try to see what the difference is. But again, for right now, so this doesn't fall through the cracks, I'm going to go ahead and Bond guy, do you have any of the hearings in the morning?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, then. All right, then. Set for ruling. Anyway, reset for ruling, and I'm writing it down on time frame for having to order new child support based on service of citation. All right, Blender, which hearing is postponed tomorrow? I know we had a morning one and an afternoon one. We still have an afternoon one or a morning. Which one was postponed?
Beg your pardon, Your Honor. I know the answer. It was the in-person one was postponed. I believe that was
the afternoon one still going on.
The afternoon one was? Okay, that's the afternoon one. Okay. All right. Who's doing the morning hearing in the morning? Do you know?
No, there's no longer a morning hearing.
Okay. All right.
I have the afternoon hearing, Your Honor.
Yeah, the afternoon. All right.
I had them both, but
okay, then Mr. Diamond, I'm going to be looking at giving you the information to pass on Ms. Bond got in the afternoon as far as what the court found out about what I could do on this one way or the other. Because again, this one is definitely a little unique, and the court doesn't have the answer. So, but I want to give you I'll have that about it since I don't have a morning hearing. I'll have that information for you to pass on to Ms. Bond. You can pass it on to the parties in the morning. But as far as the start date. But for right now, I'm looking at going ahead and ordering a final law in this matter, setting up the child support and the cash medical, everything going forward from this date as far as the final law is concerned. And the only thing I got to look at is what the start date is. I'm waiving court costs due to military service, and setting everything else up as per the temporary order, and hopefully finalizing on that start date tomorrow as soon as I can figure out what the court's allowed to do and what the court has to do and what the court is allowed to do. So I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Roberts. Question, sir.
None, Judge.
Ms. Jessup, questions, ma'am.
No, sir.
All right, is there anything this again, I don't want to introduce anything that's going to be in violation of HIPAA. It doesn't sound like I have to on this one then, Ms. Swartz. So is there anything else, ma'am, you have at this time?
No, I suppose just asking to be excused from anything further unless something comes up.
Since there's nothing that's technically in this order that pertains to you, I'll allow you to withdraw as of today's date. You don't even have to wait 30 days after the order is signed. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you no longer have any responsibility going forward. Thank you, Ms. Swartz. Ms. Bond, got anything else, ma'am?
Your Honor, I neglected to introduce the financial activity report. With the court's permission, I'll share screen now and make sure all parties get a copy.
I got the original right here.
Okay, perfect, Your Honor.
I've marked this as station exhibit number 1. This is the financial activity report in this matter. It shows what funds have been paid, and it does show that the temporary order began in December, correct?
It did, Your Honor.
So
And
is
so the state, well, Your Honor, depending.
November 30th as the date of any amount the court's looking at as far as the judgment's concerned.
Well, Your Honor, depending on when you say the start date is, I guess we
Okay.
were looking at that as well because what we show in my announcement earlier of 0 as of that August date, Ms. Jessup was actually paid ahead a bit. And I think that would be the
Right.
same case if you were going to April of 23. So I believe her wish would be to carry it forward, not consider it a gift. And I just want to put that on the courts and parties' radar since, again, I didn't send it, at least what I'm looking at, dated April 4.
All right, now, well, the date, the April, the November 30th, or 29th amount, it looks like mom was in future pay $613.27. And on the date of service, for the end of July, I'm sorry, the day of service is back in 2022, so of course don't have to take that portion under advisement, so. Anyway, is there anything else then, Ms. Bongat?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, we'll go ahead and take a look at this and I'll see what I can do again. And both of you, I'm sorry, it looks like this is something that's not the norm. Usually it take that long, but when we're dealing with service and citation and different counties, sometimes this kind of stuff happens. Usually happens with other states, but not other counties in Texas, but obviously there was a problem with this one. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and see what I have to do one way or the other under the Texas Family Code, and I will pass that information on to Mr. Diamond in the morning to pass on to Ms. Bongat as far as, of course, the finding is. But everything else is per the testimony and the request of the parties. And I'll have the state start working on that order, but we'll do what the start date is. And I'll get that to them in the morning, well, tomorrow afternoon. Thank you. I may the parties be excused at this time, Ms. Bongat.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, both of y'all are free to go, and I've already let Ms. Schwartz off, so she's free to go, and we're off the record. Thank you.